Hey everyone, welcome back. I just watched a Judiciary Committee hearing that was honestly kind of wild. You ever see someone get grilled so hard they're practically sweating through the TV? That was Judicial Nominee Michael Brindisi in the hot seat with Senator John Kennedy asking the questions. Let's break down what actually happened, because this wasn't just awkward, it was revealing. First off, Kennedy set the tone. Right away, he said, "I don't care about your personal beliefs, I want to know how you think." Fair enough. But as soon as he asked about gerrymandering, basically, can politicians draw election maps just to help themselves, Brindisi dodged a lot. He tossed out terms like justiciability, but never actually said yes or no.
Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations to each of you. Judge Brindisi, I want to just talk to you about the law. I'm not interested in what you believe. I'm interested in how you think. I want to start with reapportionment law. Can a state legislature draw election lines in an obviously, blatantly political way to favor one party over another?
Good morning, Senator Kennedy. My understanding of the law is that issues such as partisan gerrymandering are considered political questions.
Yes, sir, but can you answer my question first, if you don't mind? Because I've got 6 folks here in 5 minutes. Can a state legislature do that?
Senator, under the justiciability issue of political question, I believe the Supreme Court has held that those issues are political and not something that the court can review.
So is that a yes or no?
Senator, if they're drawing them for political reasons, as you put, and not for discriminatory purposes in any means, then I believe under Supreme Court precedent that would be a political question.
Okay.
Kennedy wasn't letting him off that easy. Why does this matter? Because gerrymandering decides who wins elections. If you're going to be a judge, you should be able to say what the law says about it. Instead, Brindisi danced around the issue, and Kennedy called him out. Then came free speech. Specifically, does the government itself have the right to free speech? It's a classic First Amendment question. Brindisi? He admitted he hadn't even thought about it in 20 years.
If a governor stands up and says, "I'm speaking for the state of New York," does government have the right to free speech? Yes or no, if you would?
Senator, again, in my 20 years of litigating civil litigation matters and 2.5 years on the bench, I haven't had specifically a case on that.
I know, but
matter.
have you thought about it? I mean, there's a whole body of case law out there, my gosh. Did you study that in law school, Judge?
I'm sure I did, Senator.
Okay. Well, let me put it another way. If Senator Lee designs a special license plate that he wants to give people the right to purchase and put on their cars in Utah, and the government says no, and Senator Lee says, but let these other folks design their own license plates, and the government of Utah says no, can the government of Utah do that?
Well, if the government is restricting certain kind of speech, content-based speech, it would have to undergo a strict scrutiny analysis.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. That came up in Texas. That's what the government speech doctrine is.
Kennedy basically had to explain the doctrine to him. Awkward. It got even spicier with a famous Supreme Court case from Texas. Someone wanted a Confederate flag on a license plate. The state said no, and the court called license plates government speech. Did Brindisi recognize this? Not at all. Missed it completely.
Somebody in Texas said, "I want to put a Confederate flag on a license plate." And Texas said, "Nope." And he sued, said just what you said, very famous Supreme Court case. And the Supreme Court said, government speech, government can do that. Do you know what well, strike that.
Finally, Kennedy asked about monuments in public parks. Who decides what gets displayed? Brindisi deflected again. At some point, you've got to show you get the basics, right? So, what did we just watch? A senator doing his job, and a nominee who just wasn't ready.
Let's suppose there's a park, and that park has monuments in it. And Senator Lee says, I want to put my monument in that park too. I see all these others you let put in there. And government says no. Who wins? I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, I would have to review more facts of the case to determine.
You don't know who would win that?
Senator, I'd have to see more details from the case to determine the facts behind it to make a proper ruling on that type of a case.
Wow. Okay.
Senator Padilla?
Should judges be able to answer these questions on the spot, or is it fair to say I'd need more facts? Drop a comment below. And hey, subscribe for more real talk on law and politics. I'll keep breaking down the drama so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, stay curious.
Is that a yes or no?
I think it's a yes under your scenario there. Again, Senator, I'd have to review the facts of the case and hear more about the reasons behind the lines that were drawn.
Tell me about the political question. I'm sorry. We were just talking about political questions. Tell me about the government speech doctrine. You'll see that a lot in federal court. Tell me about the government speech doctrine.
Are you referring to under First Amendment, Senator?
Yes.
So my understanding under the First Amendment that there are particular forms of speech that, depending on if it's content-based speech or content-neutral
Yes,
speech.
so that's on the private side. I'm talking about the public side.